probably wondering, hey, you guys have really talked less about the WNBA lately. Yeah, because Caitlin Clark's hurt. She didn't play last night. They won. But what's more interesting is Clark spoke a little bit about injuries, being a pro athlete. How's this for a quote, Colin? This is the first time I haven't felt like a young body that can run around and sprint every day and just continue to do that. Being a pro athlete, you really have to take care of both your body and mind. It's been a journey learning about that. Now, that makes it sound like she's just worn down. Like, this is the first time I can't just run around and be a young person.
Well,
you're still young, Caitlin. You're like 24 years old?
So let's be, it's funny. Anytime I talk about the WNBA, I get pushback. And I swear to God, 90% of what I say is positive. And I'll just say this. It's taken the WNBA, a couple years to figure out how popular she is. They have one more big move to make as a league. They've got to get better officiating. Guards in the WNBA get attacked. I mean, go look at the number of total players and the number of injured players in the WNBA. It's unbelievable. And the NBA, which has better officials, you'll notice this. They are more willing to call a quick whistle in the regular season to keep their players healthy for the postseason. They want their stars available for the postseason. Then in the postseason, let them play. That makes for good basketball. But they kind of protect their players' regular season. The WNBA officiates like the NBA does in the postseason. People getting knocked to the floor.
And that's exactly what I had been talking about for months now. I mean, I've been on this from the jump. Listen, I feel for Caitlin Clark here. As someone who's been injured a lot, who tore his meniscus, shredded up his knee multiple times playing basketball, and broke my clavicle, shattered my finger. I mean, I have so many injuries, I have to remember, I did get surgery for that one. I've had a knee surgery 3 times alone, all in the same knee. So I get it. And to me, what Caitlin Clark is explaining right now, what she's expressing is it's the mental aspect of recovering from being injured. You really don't, it's not really until you get injured that you really start to realize, my body is not unstoppable. It is actually more fragile than anyone ever really wants to admit. And she's having now more intimate conversations with physical therapists, with orthopedic surgeons, and they're explaining things to her that she probably never had to really think about. I mean, I'm sure over the years of over her career, she's had conversations with physical therapists and stuff, but it starts to get, once you start getting enough injuries, you start to have real conversations. You really start to question them and grill them. I learned more about the body and my body and what needs to happen talking to the surgeons over the years and physical therapists. And I've been very lucky. I mean, I've had surgery done by people who have done who do surgery on professional athletes. I've been very fortunate in that regard. And it's just I remember my first major injury that I had where I got surgery. And I went to the physical therapist and I was like, I'm ready to get back to being 100%. And she's like, yeah, we'll try our best to get you there. And I was just like, what do you mean you're going to try what do you mean? And she's like, well, you'll probably never get exactly to 100%. You can never really get to what you were before the injury, but we'll get you as close as possible. And it's true, because your body, once it gets injured, it's no longer, especially once you get surgery, it's no longer the same. You have scar tissue now. It's just different. Even if you get back and now you're still performing at the same level that you did, the way your body feels, the way it recovers. Travis Kelce said this, and I'm happy he said this out loud. He's like, I've had 10 surgeries and not a day goes by that I don't feel every single one of them. And Kobe Bryant near the end of his career kind of talked about how he was like, when I was younger, man, I could just play and I was done and I shut my body down and I was good to go. He's like, now it's I need an hour just to warm it up. I need an hour just to cool it down. He's like, it's just night and day different. And some people realize that sooner rather than later. And this is honestly, in a lot of ways, a blessing in disguise. My injuries that I had when I was younger were a major blessing in disguise because I learned so much more about my body. And it changed the way how I weight trained. It changed the way how I just approached my physical life in a lot of different ways. And I just became so much more educated on all the things, and I made so much better decisions. And this will ultimately, I believe, help Caitlin Clark in the long run. And I do think it'll put an even greater emphasis on protecting her body and knowing what she needs to do to be as strong and as resilient as she possibly can. Combined with the WNBA needing to wake the heck up and get better officiating. Here's the reality, like what Colin's talking about. Not only do they need better officials, but they don't even need to start there. You just need to tell the officials, we want you to have a stronger whistle throughout the games. We want you to be more liberal right now. You are not calling enough fouls. There's times that they're just letting them play and they should not be. It's not like they're just missing the calls because the refs aren't good enough. They're not being informed enough. The WNBA could change this overnight. You have the meeting, you bring in all the refs and you say, listen, you guys need to call this a little bit tighter. You need to call tighter games right now. That's the way this works. We don't want to see this type of shoving. We don't want to see some of this type of pushing. When you start to see things start to getting chippy, you got to, immediately get a technical here, technical there, have everyone calm down. If you need to, you throw someone out. Like they said in the one game against, I think it was against Connecticut, when they were just like, that whole brawl, whatever we want to call it, was caused by the ref. They even said on the broadcast, the one woman was like, this is because of the officiating. They did not throw the people out when they needed to. And so, and that was really like the peak of it all. And then the WNBA doesn't do a good enough job of then following up the next day. So it's just, they could fix this overnight without even having to get new refs or better officiating. Like they don't even need to do that just yet. It's just, hey, we need you to be tighter with we need you to be looser with the whistle. We need you to call more fouls. Stop letting this be so physical. Now, my fear is what Colin is saying, because I agree. I like when playoff games are more physical. I agree with that. That's what really makes the NBA finals or the NBA playoffs like a lot more fun than the regular season, because it matters so much. It's all in, etc., etc. But the problem is Caitlin Clark still takes an extreme amount of, abuse, essentially, that these other women do not. And so it's just like Caitlin Clark will constantly still be under fire and be at a major disadvantage. And that becomes a fundamental problem as well. And so the league needs to figure it out. Caitlin Clark needs to figure it out. The Fever as a whole need to figure it out. But it needs to be figured out. And I feel for Caitlin, but I am incredibly optimistic that so far she's been very fortunate that none of her injuries have truly been devastating just yet. That she's going to learn a lot about her body. She's going to learn about various muscle imbalances and the things that she needs to work on. And she's going to be doing things with her body and training her body in ways that she never even dreamed of thinking about. And as long as she takes it really seriously and goes all in on it and trains and gets the right people around her, it'll be the best thing that ever happened. It'll be the best thing that ever happened. And I really, 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 truly believe that. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Caitlin Clark and the fact that, like Colin is saying, that the league has to do a better job of protecting her, and just the fact that her body, it's just she's struggling with it right now, essentially, mentally. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.